All right. Black Power. I'm in the house, family. I'm in the house. I'm in the house. Part two. Part two. Habashah. About to hurt some feelings. About to hurt some real feelings today. About to hurt some real feelings today. Got to take all this shit up off the board. We have to deal with these people. Selling us out. Selling us out. All the time, and then want to put themselves on the pedestal. Well, we're gonna tear down the pedestal today. Got to tear the pedestal down. You know, too many of these people stealing our history, stealing our culture, and motherfuckers creating motherfucking division amongst the land. You know what I'm saying? Putting themselves on the pedestal and putting other Africans, you know what I'm saying, down on another level, like a caste system, right there, a Semitic caste system, right there in Africa. They call that shit the Afro-Asiatic, a caste system. That's all it is, where the so-called Semitic get high rank, where those that are non-Semitic are treated like less than nothing. And we got to talk about this. We got to talk about it today. Let me make sure all the family coming on in. Come on in. Come on. Go get some. Go get some. Go get you some of our Habashah family. Get them on in the house. Get some of our Habashah family in the house. Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm gonna just give it about a couple minutes. I ain't gonna give it long because I know people's gonna catch up. Because anytime I be dropping these 2, 3, videos and shit, and this is gonna be hard body. They're gonna be quick too. You know what I'm saying? When I had 2, 3 videos like that, I don't be all day. You understand what I'm saying? It's almost like one video I chop up, bah, 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 but they need to be separated so we can focus on the topic at hand. Nah, of course, let me go ahead. Fuck it. We just got off. There ain't no sense of waiting. Let's go in some miles. Let's go on in some goddamn miles. Where I want that at. Let me bring that down, though. Let me bring all this down. Let me bring all this down before I do that. Let me bring all this down before I do that. So all that shit right where I needed to be. You know what I'm saying? That way when I don't have to come back up here looking for nothing or this, that, and the third. I could just, go straight in the mouth, in the nigga mouth. Straight up. Okay, right there. Right there. All right. Bring that on down. You know what I'm saying? Quick. Woo, woo, woo. Then I'm going to go straight into it. I'm going to go straight into them. Okay. I need to be up here. Hold on, family. We about to get, you know what? I just pull on down. I ain't got to, I just correct it as, after the fact. I just had to come in and move shit around as I'm doing it. I know exactly where I want to go. I know where I'm going to crack head, and that's all that matters. Now, let me go ahead and get to this harbor shot. Okay, let me go on and get to this harbor shot. Let me get a map. Let me get this map up. Let me get this harbor shot map. Well, I could damn near use the maps I already have, but I don't. I want to be specific to what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? And so we about to roll now, fam. Let me just go and throw this Habesha map in there, and then we Gucci. We Gucci. We're gonna crack heads from there. All right. Bingo. Let me go and share this so I can get busy. I don't even want to waste no more time. I don't want to waste no more time. Go on and share this page. All right. As soon as it pop up on my monitor, I'm about to go in. Now, when we talk about Habesha, okay, is a term that Ethiopians and Eritreans use to refer to themselves. Habesha is a term of pride and used to eliminate the distinction between different tribes and celebrate unity as the people of the same region. Now, you know, a lot of these definitions you're going to see are political. You're going to have some that's, you know, they're going to try to make up for the, you know, obvious racism. So many of the terms can be Ethiopian originated or Habashashian originated. So if it comes from them, of course, they're going to try to clean it up. Okay? The meaning is Habasha is a word used to refer to both Eritreans and Ethiopians. Listen, or more specifically, to the Semitic speaking inhabitants of those countries. See what I'm saying? And so those that, you know, of the bloodline of Solomon and shit, this, that, and the third, this is who they talking about. The first inscriptions or inscription referred to Habasha is a Sabaean South Arabian inscription. Okay. Now, you know, this is just a short definition. I didn't get the date, and we can look that up at a different time. But that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? You can see right there, immediately they shift to South Arabia. Okay. And the fact is, Habasha is an Arabian word. Okay, when you get Abyssinia is the anglicizing of Habasha. Okay, that's where you get Abyssinia. And so my question is, I'm like, damn, you know, how is it that this nation was named from the outside? That's very, very important. You understand what I'm saying? That it was named. In many instances, it means mix. Got various of definitions. And so when you look and see, you know, you see Habasha, and I got some pictures I took, you know, of scrolling down, just so people don't think I would just make some shit up, you know, because I wouldn't just do that. I just put it in and I go to images, and damn near 97% of the people that I seen was light skinned. Okay, is that did I do that? Did SETI do that? I didn't do that. Okay, although Ethiopia was called Abyssinia for a long time and still is in some languages, it was renamed Ethiopia around the 4th century AD by King Azana as a new Christian name for a kingdom he was converting. Okay, a new Christian. So we got to understand that the Ethiopia today was renamed Ethiopia. It was originally Abyssinia, and then which comes out of Habasha, which is you know, an Arabian word. Some people say it means mixed, and then many instances, I done heard some scholars say it means nigger. Okay, it's an, you know, Arabian word that means nigger. You know, and so I'm gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna do more research, but I can see the representations fall right in line with what I'm saying. If I didn't see it, if I didn't see the light skin on every, and I seen it for myself on the walls of the churches in Ethiopia, I seen it, and I was upset at it then, and I'm upset at it now, and I'm gonna call you on it. today, like I called you on it, and while I was in Ethiopia. Okay, Abyssinian people, more commonly known as Habesha or Abasha, is a common term used to refer mainly to the culturally ethno-Semitic speaking people. So you stay with the Semitic. So if you in that Judaic, blueprint, you understand you consider to be Habesha. You know what I'm saying? But if you was one of the other tribes that have nothing to do with the Judaic Christian background, then this is where the racism come in play. Because I noticed that every time you say Ethiopian, only one feature always pop up. And that's usually, the light skin or the lighter brown skin. But the darker skin, it's a lot of different ethnic Africans in Ethiopia, in the South and different areas of Ethiopia. And so they never get represented, So when you say Ethiopian, only one phenotype seem to pop up. You understand what I'm saying? And the other types don't even get a shout out. Okay, they include a few linguistically, culturally, and ancestrally related ethnic groups, mostly from the Ethiopian highlands. Okay, now when you go into the South, I think this is where you get a lot of the other types of Ethiopians, that are not, connected to the Semitic religion. And so they don't get no respect, and then they get talked down on. And so Dr. Ben was, telling us, that, Haile Selassie and many of the other so-called Judaic kings and negusses of Ethiopia had this racism. You understand what I'm saying? On the other tribe in Ethiopia. And then, they think highly of themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Because of this mixture. And the mixture is there. It ain't no damn doubt about it. Now, when we talk about Ethiopia, we got to see that the whole continent of Africa at times was called Ethiopia. Now, if you see, in this particular map, it included the whole south of Africa. Okay, if you look at the yellow, you see Ethiopia. Now, I'm going to show you maps where Abyssinia wasn't even considered part of Ethiopia. See, if you look here on this map, you'll see right above Ethiopia is in yellow, and then you look right above Ethiopia, you see Abyssinia. Okay, you see Abyssinia. So at that time, it wasn't even Ethiopia. You see what I'm saying? They didn't consider it Ethiopia because the predominant types still use the term Abyssinia or Habesha. Okay, they just recently started to identify, and then when you look at the term Habesha, it means mix, and they can say it mean whatever you want it to mean. I tell you what, put it in and go to images, and then tell me if it ain't all damn near all light skin, Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? Look at it for yourself. And then when I go to the walls and show the paintings, it's going to become even more, profound. You're going to see it for yourself. And you're going to be like, God damn, what's really going on? How the fuck is these motherfuckers so confused to be, falling for this trap? You understand what I'm saying? And I guess that's why many of them still use the term Habesha, because Ethiopia is a total contradiction to any of that, since Ethiopia means burnt face. Okay, so many of the people that on this map, you understand what I'm saying? Many of the people that were included in Ethiopia on this map are looked down on. You understand? In Ethiopia of today as being outsiders. You understand what I'm saying? I hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to deal even more profound. And even on this map, you see the Ethiopian Ocean is on the west coast of Africa, not the east coast. So that, that just show you that at different points in time, the whole continent and areas of Africa outside of Ethiopia today was called Ethiopia. And to the Greeks, Sudan or Nubia is the ancient Ethiopia. Okay, that's clear. You know what I'm saying? And we could see images of these Ethiopians, Nubians all over the walls, tombs, pyramids of Egypt and Nubia. And so we know that they are cold black people. They're not no damn light-skinned people. Okay? Ethiopia of the Greeks is the Sudan of the Arabs. So when you talk about the Sudan, when you talk about Sudan, the country name Sudan is a name given to a geographical region to the south of the Sahara, stretching from West Africa to Eastern Central Africa. The name derives from the Arabic Bilal al-Sudan, or the land of the blacks. So the same land that the Greeks call Ethiopia, the Arabs call Sudan. And it means exactly the same thing. It means land of the blacks. Okay? And so you can see that that term even stretched even over into West Africa, where they got what you call Western Sudan. Okay, and that's over, and you see a lot of our dark brothers and sisters over there in Mali and Senegal and Nigeria and Niger, you know, all in that area. You see, so this is so we laying it down that Ethiopia and Sudan, Sudanese, which actually means the same thing, burnt black, identifying a very dark people, not a light-skinned people. So today, even though the nation Ethiopia, you know, what was once called Abyssinia, today is called Ethiopia. You understand? When you look at it, it's a contradiction to the way they practice the goddamn culture. Because to them, the light-skinned Habesha, the Semitics, are the pinnacle of the culture. And that's totally opposite of the true definition of Ethiopia, which means burnt face. So that's why I'm telling you, that's why many of them still use the term Abyssinia or Habesha, because they know the stark contradiction that it causes people who actually know the true definitions and the true word origins of Ethiopia, Habesha, and Sudan. Now, this is From Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. Now, this is critical of what we just finished in the last video, where he talking about, you know, the Ethiopians. And when we talk about Ethiopia again, we talking about, you know, we talking about the Sudanese Nubian. We talking about that pitch black Nubian. You see, that's the true Ethiopian which we talking about. Now, if there's some, you know, some color variation within that, we understand that, because Africa, but you start with the root, so you never lose your consciousness and your orientation. You see what I'm saying? Listen to this. It's a known fact that there were Ethiopians inhabiting Arabia in the north, southwest, and southeast. How did these Ethiopians establish domicile or residence in Southwest Arabia? Because Ethiopians lived around the Persian Gulf in northern Arabia. It was highly probable that they migrated toward the southeast and southwest. It is obvious that the Kushites inhabited vital parts of Arabia before the birth of the progenitors of the Arabs. Okay? Before the progenitor of the Arabs. Okay, Rama, the son of Cush, was the father of the Kushite Sheba and Dedan around 23 BC. The tribe of Rama became remarkable merchants. The descendants of Rama lived in southeast Arabia, and the descendants of Havilah resided in southwest Arabia, which is Yemen. This Havilah was the son of Cush. Moreover, Cush was the patriarch of all the Ethiopian tribes in Babylon, Arabia, India, and on the Nile River. The Kushites were residents of Arabia soon after the confusion of the tongues at Babylon, which is in 22. We understand this, but you know, you playing the Hebrew on the air, and that's just to get the Arab out, and then I'm gonna play the Nile Valley on the Hebrew. You understand, to get his ass up on, you know, he getting the Arab up out of the land for you, and then I'm gonna play the Nile Valley on the goddamn Hebrew to get their ass up out the land. So this is just to prove that there was no Arabia according to the Bible. According to the Bible, the Ethiopians, the burnt face, and we understand what that means. Burnt face were in the land long before any light skin or any Sabaeans, any of that. Okay, we got to lay the foundation so we can hit this nail on the head. Okay, but Ishmael, the father of the Arabs, was not born until 1896 BC. My conclusion is that the Ethiopians were in Arabia before the Arabs. Okay, so I don't want to hear nothing but how silly is these people, because they still look to the Sabaean, which are, you know, in many instances dominated by the Arab, as being a culture of high regard. And this is why they hold the mixture as a badge of honor. If they say they Habesha, they hold that shit as a badge of honor. So the Ethiopian, the burnt face Africans was in the land before the Arab, but obviously these wannabe Habesha don't know the goddamn truth of the history. And so we got to hit them on the head today. You understand what I'm saying? You got crackatosis, you got arabatosis, you got arabatosis. That's the other, you know, you got crackatosis and arabatosis. And so they got arabatosis. Okay, let me come on up out of here. I don't think I need that. So when we talking about even the word for black in Arabic, Aswad. Okay, Aswad. And then when you go into Nubia, you got Aswan. You understand what I'm saying? So you seeing right there that, you know, that was one of the limit, you know, the gates, the boundary lines of the Nubians, Aswan. So when you go in Aswan today, if you go on a trip, you know what I'm saying? When you get down to Aswan, technically, even though Nubia was even further north than that, technically, when you get to Aswan, you are in Nubia. And so when we understand Aswan means black, it don't mean light skin. And so these are these is the ancient Ethiopians. It means black. See, I got the latest, because when I get to these damn images, you're gonna say, well, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this is all about? You know what I'm saying? Let me move through this. There was no foreign invasions into Sheba, Africa, until the break of the Iron Curtain of Egypt, Ethiopia dominance across the northern regions, which didn't take place until Alexander the Great. Okay, so when you look at the Bible and you see Mecca, and we went over that. And why am I crushing the Arab? Because they look to the Arab, they daddy, the Sabaeans. That's who they daddy is. And so how in the hell, and they not even in the land, even in court, that just lets you know niggas do not read the book. Them niggas hum, you know, they hum them damn hymns, and, you know, they do all the singing and dancing and putting bells on their toes and fingers and this, that, and ribbons all in their hair, but they do not read them damn books. They do not read them books. The Bible states that the Africans were in control of the landmass, not called Arabia, even called Sheba. It wasn't called no Sheba. I'm just using the Bible against the Arab, and then I use true history of the Nile Valley against the damn Hebrew. We've already proven that the Nile Valley ruled that, and there was no Sheba, there was no Arabia, but we're using the holy books of the Bible and the Quran in sequence. So if we go into the Bible don't state what the Quran states. It don't state that there was no Arabs in the land. It states that there was Ethiopians. And according to the Bible, they were black. Now, how the hell the Ethiopian of the day turned out to be light-skinned is a very mesmerizing motherfucking mystery to me. You see what I'm saying? So if you look at the Bible, it says Kendar, Midian, Dedan, Sheba. These are all children of the Ethiopians, of the Cushite, of the burnt-faced people. There was no Mecca or none of that. God damn it. And then ain't no Mecca even into the, you know, AD period. You know, that's just a fairly recent goddamn trading city. You know, trading town. It wasn't even a city, a trading town. So they don't have no ancient artifact, just like I took you into the Sinai, showed you an Egyptian temple. I dare you to show me any Islamic or Hebraic or temples or artifacts. You understand? Cannot do it. I show you the Egyptian, Ethiopian artifacts, show you the Egyptian, Ethiopian culture, put it right there in your face. They can't do that. Everything, if you don't read it in the Bible, you'll never be able to locate it. You understand what I'm saying? That's it. Everything in the Bible only exists in the Bible. But I'm using their lies against them because they all claim to be of the same father. And so all I'm doing is putting putting a house against each other and show and prove that they all telling a damn lie. Let me keep it moving. Habashah claimed to be Semitic, which is Shemitic. Okay, once you understand Semitic, you got to even understand that word. Semitic, which is Shemitic, which is Shem, which is the son of Noah. But he also had two other sons, Japheth and Ham. Ham is the supposed father of the African races. Ethiopia was a son of Ham. So you claim to be Shemitic, Semitic, but took the national name of Ethiopia, which according to the Bible was Hamitic. So I got to figure this shit out. Is you Semitic or are you Hamitic? You understand what I'm saying? Because the Hamitics, according to the Bible, was the cursed race. Okay, it was the cursed race. So why would if Abyssinia or Habashah was a Semitic nation, why would you name yourself after the Hamitics, the cursed race? I don't understand that. It's a total contradiction. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. And at any point in time they want to step up and challenge me, please do. Because I got this shit loaded and cocked for anybody that want it. It's a living contradiction. It's a living contradiction because you claim to be Semitic, yet you name your nation after, and I guess that's because of the Christianizing of Ezana, who Christianized Abyssinia. So they say he changed it to Ethiopia. So either he understood that the people were burnt face and maybe he was in contradiction to the Abyssinia or the Judaic. You understand what I'm saying? But even to this day, it's a stark contradiction to have you put in Ethiopia, which means burnt face, and the majority of the people that pop up is light skinned. I don't know. You can go figure that shit out for yourself. Now, when you look at the Hamitics, in which Ethiopia, you see cursed Ham, and you look at the top in green, cursed Ham, you look at Noah, and you see his son Shem, and you look up there and it says genealogy up to Abraham. You see, and the blue is the righteous, the chosen of God. You see Japheth, he's in good, even though he ain't got no problem, he's in good line with God because he works hand in hand with Shem. But when you see cursed Ham, you see Mizraim, which is Egypt. Then you see Canaan, which later became Israel. You even see Cush, which is Ethiopia. So my question to me is either you Shemitic, which is Shemitic, or how in the fuck is you Cush in Ethiopia and Shemitic? You understand what I'm saying? That just show you they don't know shit about the book. That shit that, you didn't cross so many damn lines, it becomes so goddamn confusing. When you look at Cush, Cush is Ethiopia, burnt faith. And according to the Bible, they are of the cursed seed. Okay, Nimrod, which related to, which is the son of Ethiopia. Okay, and so all I hear is Babylon and shit and this, that, and these is Rastafarians, but they praise Ethiopia, but they read a Shemitic, and holy book. And I'm trying to figure out, nigga, do y'all understand what the fuck y'all really talking about? Are y'all really confused about the shit that y'all talking about? God damn, that don't even make no sense because this shit too easy. I ain't saying it easy, but goddamn, any game you play, you got to know how to move the players on the board. And it's obviously these motherfuckers do not know the players that's on the board. You just like little kids that come and see a chessboard on the damn table, and you just get up there like the little kids and just move them whichever way you want to move them. You don't understand the movement of the players on the damn board. And so you done got caught contradicting yourself. You done got caught on both sides of the damn fence. And that just show you probably, nigga, you ain't none of them. You're confused. You're in a state of confusion. So let me keep moving. Now, Here we go. Now this is Habesha. You see what I'm saying? This is where if you type this in, and I got a whole damn, wait a minute, hold on. Let me go and throw these in here so y'all can see. Where them damn pictures at? Here go one. What up? I'm gonna drop them on in here. I'm gonna drop them on in here. So when I put it in, I just typed in Habesha. Okay? And so when you got, you pull in, you know what I'm saying? You get this type, this Haile Selassie type. You don't really see too many black burnt face. You know what I'm saying? You might get a particularly brown, but you could, you see that it might be, because you're dealing with the Horn of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of trade going on. If you go into many of them nations on the east coast of Africa, there's Hindu Indian influence. You understand what I'm saying? Then you got Arabia right across the damn water. So you got a different, and that don't mean that they're not African. But if you gonna put the foreign seed as a means of being, better than the rest of the Africans, you got to be dealt with. That's just reality. You understand what I'm saying? So if you type this in, I didn't put this in here. You're really not gonna see no dot. And I went up and down the damn Google images just to see it. And when I seen that, then it became more evident when you look at a lot of them damn paintings in Ethiopia, why they look the way they look. And I'm gonna get down to that real. So here again, you looking at Habesha, okay? And so now you see this, and you know damn well that that's not Ethiopia. That's not burnt to face. Now if she gonna claim, and show her Africanness and this, that, and the third, I could respect that. If she could show her African mamas and her, and we all be one and shit, this, that, and the third. But when you trying to promote this light-skinned nigga of Africa, not even a nigga, you above, you a Sabian, you're a Habesha, you above everybody else. So when I go and look at the damn paintings in Ethiopia, I'ma just tell you, nigga, they been bleached. They not burnt of no goddamn faced. These is not, you look at this shit. So when you look at her to the right, no disrespect to the family. Now, don't get me. I'm just saying what the fuck is happening where you put in Ethiopia and this light-skinned African, if he want to be called African, I hear a lot of them don't even want to be called African. And that's all right. If that's your choice, then that makes it easier for me to drop the hammer on your ass and expose you for who the fuck you are. So when you look at a lot of the damn, this is Mary and Jesus. This motherfucker got a curl in the front of his head, nigga. And they tanned in the face where they put a little brown in the on the outside of the face, on the edges, and then in the inside, you know what I'm saying? They make it light skin. And that's almost like them people that bleach their face. I'm just gonna be 100 and I'm gonna show that here again. So look, some were bred light skin, some use chemicals to achieve the mean. So again, we got this arabatosis, crackatosis syndrome in our people where some have embraced the rape of African women and, the continuing mixture of blood and shit that caused them to be lighter than other Africans. And some who idolize the European, idolize the Arab, who have not got the blood, they use chemicals to achieve the same fucking means. Okay, I just want to tell you that. So when you start looking at some of them, you see how that sister was. She was dark. She done went in there and took all the melanin out of her goddamn skin. You understand what I'm saying? She must have soaked in that shit to get that melanin out of her skin, and they don't know how devastating that shit is. But not only the bleach of the skin, but the bleach of the mind. You understand what I'm saying? Because both are, bleached of the mind. You understand, where they conceive this foreign element to be, more prestigious and more, relevant than the black African blood. Okay, got the deal. Look at Sammy Sosa. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Look at that's very critical when you look at this angel. I don't know, I think that's Gabriel. And you see him again, see how they had the darks, and then they put the light skin, inside with the forehead and the chin and shit. They lighten that shit up. And you see that the devil is black. So they went right in step for step with the Arab and the European, and I'm going to show you that. You see what I'm saying? Some people got crackatosis, some people got arabatosis. You know what I'm saying? You got arabatosis and shit where, you want to be the Arabs. Look at this, okay? Totally void of blackness. Now, this is in Ethiopia, family. This is a shame. I must state that. This is no disrespect to nobody. It hurt my heart that people could fall this far from grace where they could put something like this in the land of, and listen to the irony. I mean, is it wrong for me to say something when it says this is Ethiopia, the land of burnt faces, and then you go all over the damn paintings and you see this this shit look like it belong in Turkey or goddamn, up in, Georgia, Russia, some damn where. This don't look like it belong in Ethiopia. Straight up. Here it is. This is in Ethiopia. This is Jesus. This is Jesus, fam. He got straight hair. And I heard one of the high priests of the Ethiopian church state that the Hebrews was white. I got that shit on my Instagram. I posted that shit probably over a year ago, where the motherfucker sat right, and it was an Ethiopian woman, but she had sense about her. And when she was interviewed, she was doing a documentary on her country. And when she died, she interviewed the high priest or the patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and he said right out of his mouth that the Israelites was white. He said it. I say, man, and she looked at him, and she was an Ethiopian. She looked at him like, nigga, is you serious? What do you know? It's 20 motherfucking 19. Even though she probably did it, even in that time, it was far. Nigga, you out of pocket to even come at people like that. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no damn white people ever lived in that land or indigenous to that land. So you see right there, he had crackatosis. I got to state that. You know what I'm saying? Had it bad. Okay, and so here you looking at, this is in Ethiopia. Right there, you see, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. There's no variation in color or nothing. Just one color. See, this is the racism that I'm talking about. And they can lie because if you go, and again, all you have to do is go look up Ethiopian paintings, and I'm guaranteeing you that it's standard to keep them on a light skin coloration. Watch what I'm telling you. If I'm lying, I'm damn flying. You understand? Why is there isn't no representation of the other darker skin? You see what I'm saying? This shit is out of pocket. All of them are light skinned. Where the fuck is y'all at? This shit look like, this shit like, I don't know where the fuck. Is this in Europe? This shit look like it belong in France some goddamn way. Okay, and again, this is and this is in a Orthodox, this is on Lake Tana, Barda, on Lake Tana, Orthodox monastery. You know what I'm saying? No coloration. All white, straight hair on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Let me keep it moving. Again, consistent in showing nothing but light-skinned people. Let me keep it moving. Showing you, here again, no other darkness. Where's the darkness at? I'm showing you consistency. The effect of the Habesha Arabized light-skinned racism in Ethiopia. Now, as quick as they show the prophets and Mary and Jesus white, the devil is black. He's actually burnt of face. So the true Ethiopian The burnt-to-face, dark-skinned African has been demonized in his own land. And who has done this, who is perpetrating this act is, again, the mixed breed, the fifth column. You understand what I'm saying? As Dr. Chancellor Williams stated, you understand when the question was asked, what happened? How did the Nile Valley fall? He stated emphatically that it was the mixed breed children of Africa. You know, and it's not to be hurt because some families stay true to the root. So we're not disrespecting light skin because, nigga, we ride. Nigga, some light skinned niggas that's gonna ride. Nigga, that's just how it is, nigga. We know the root. We ain't got no problem with that. We know who we are. But the confusion is you got, and really it don't make no, but in this instance, we are dealing with a light skin racism because you got some dark niggas blacker than them, you know, triple midnight, and them niggas mind just as white as these motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't like it's just, you know, because crackatosis go beyond, you know, go beyond skin color, because there's a lot of niggas infected with the arabatosis, crackatosis. You know what I'm saying? So again, showing at the top, you see God, you see Jesus, and you see and they white, and then you got the devil black. You got the devil black. You see what I'm saying? Let me keep it moving. But when we go into the ancient world of the true Ethiopian, we see that black was the color of divinity. You understand what I'm saying? Even all the way into India. You see what I'm saying? You see that black. And here you see, and this is crazy because when you go into Europe, it's like they didn't dupe these niggas. It's like they didn't dupe them because when you go into Europe, the most holy relic of all of Christendom in Europe is the Black Madonna. So how is it when you go to Ethiopia, which is supposed to be the land of the burnt face, you get a white Jesus, white prophets and all this, and then when you go to Europe, you got a Black Madonna and a Black Jesus. You see what I'm saying? Which comes out of the worship of Marian, come out of the worship of Aset and Horus and Osiris. This is what it comes out of. So even when I spoke of the Iron Curtain or the Nile Valley Federation all across what you call the Middle East, even when the Romans came in, they adopted Nile Valley culture. Wasn't no Arabic or no Hebrew or none of that shit in the land at that time. The only thing was being practiced in those lands, even down all the way to India and beyond, was the Nile Valley culture. This shit is yesterday, and they're projecting it back into the past as if it's a reality, and it's not a reality. They have no archaeological evidence to prove none of that shit. Once you close the Bible, that shit ends there. There is no evidence to back none of that shit up. And so you see today with a bleach, and so they, you know, even the, you know, you got the white Mary and the white Jesus, but most of the time, even in the cathedrals of Europe, they not gonna have that. They not gonna have it. If they do, they still got the most safe. They got the Black Madonna somewhere in the back behind a veil. You understand what I'm saying? In case, you know, here we go. You see the popes and shit. You see them with the black. Now, why ain't they walking around with a Black Madonna like that? Why the hell you look up on, see, that's that Habasha. That's that Abyssinian, that's that Arab rabatosis that, you know, that's clouding their mind, the way they look to that mixture as a badge of honor. This is what they're doing. I got to speak to that. So here you go in the basement of St. Peter's and you see the two, you know, crazy popes, and they probably got a couple little boys in the back somewhere on their knees praying to the true living God. You see the Black Madonna and child back there. You see this. They understand that. Why isn't that the same practice? And we was there, and they said, you know, we was in Mary. Man, listen here. I'm gonna be real. We went to the church of Saint Mary in Addis Ababa, and you know, this is the national church. Nigga, look, you got to take your shoes off before you go in the church. And we going in the church, and our looks around the church and all I seen was damn light-skinned European fucking images. You know what I did? I'm a real nigga. I'll tell you what I did. I walked right back to the motherfucking door and put my fucking shoes on and walked some damn where. I walked right up out the damn church. I said, I'm not going in here. I'm thinking I'm about to go in here see beautiful images of black people. And the same images I just showed you is what I saw in that church. I say, you know what? And then, you know, some of the excuses were these stained glass windows was put up in there during the time of the Italians and all this shit. When you know, Mussolini came and took parts of Ethiopia. You know, it wasn't it was a, what they call that? It was an invasion, but it wasn't a colonization. You see what I'm saying? I say, well, goddamn it, when Mussolini got his ass whooped and was pushed out of Ethiopia, y'all should have sent him them goddamn stained glass windows. Y'all should have took that shit up out of there. That's a disrespect, man. That's a total disrespect to who we are. And we got that all over the world. I'm not, you know, it ain't, you know, but this is the particular racism that's in Ethiopia and Eritrea and on the Horn of Africa. Shit, you got it in the islands where motherfuckers want to bleach their skin. You could go into certain beauty supplies and damn New York and shit, where it's more, you know, of a African population from the continent and from the Caribbean. You can go in them beauty supplies and they got whole areas of fucking skin lightener. And you see Africans at the damn the register and shit, ringing shit up. I say this shit should be illegal to sell in the black community. You see what I'm saying? And let me keep it pushing. And you see right here the European box. Now look at this. Look at this. Do you see the problem? Now he in damn Ethiopia. You understand what I'm saying? And he got the white Jesus up there. You can see in beneath the white Jesus a white Mary and a baby Jesus. And then you go to Europe and they bowing down to the black Madonna. It's like they all fucked up. Don't nobody know what the fuck they believe in. But at least the white woman, she know the true and living God. You know, the white race, they know that even though they hate us, they hate the fuck out of us for that fact that we the chosen. But they know damn well that the black woman is God. They know that. And you could go to all major cathedrals in Europe, and you go even in Russia, and you can see them. They even got the afro on their damn head. Even got the afro on the little Jesus head. Okay, why would you worship him? I'm talking to the Ethiopian when they worship you. I'm gonna go over that again. And I should put the matter of fact on it and then her too, because our family over here with the same crippling mindset. But you know, we talking about Ethiopia supposed to be, you know, the queen of African nations. And you know, we look to Ethiopia to, you know, as the lighthouse of spirituality and consciousness. Oh no. Oh no. They got to straighten up today, family. For Ethiopia land, Queen of Sheba, black and beautiful. So when we go in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Where's that one at? I want to get the different translations, because this one say dark. You understand what I'm saying? But the other one was kind of racist in the way that it explained itself. You understand what I'm saying? Because she say, I'm black, but comely. You understand? Here you go. Here you go right here. Let me bring that on down. Let me bring that on down. Don't go nowhere, family. Please don't, because I want to end on that. You know, the black woman is as the black stone in Ethiopia, in Mecca. I want you got to stay with me, because I got to tighten this shit all the way up. I can't leave no stones unturned. So now we talking about the Queen of Sheba. So when you go in the Bible, Song of Solomon 1:5-6. Now this is the racist interpretation. We dealing with the so-called Queen of Sheba. So it don't make no difference. She was on the goddamn Yemenite side or she was on the Ethiopian side. One thing that it did says I'm black, but it says comely, which means she lowly. And ain't no African queen gonna say no shit like that. I'm black and I'm godly, and you better get on your, put your damn face on that damn ground and bow the fuck down for we crush your ass. That's what she said. She wasn't no black African queen ever belittle herself to some low goat herder motherfuckers. Why would she even speak like that? So this brother had a better understanding. I think it's a brother. I don't think nobody else would speak this way. It says, women of Jerusalem, he say dark, but I'm gonna put the black in there like it need to be. Fuck dark. Say what it need to say. Women of Jerusalem, I am black and beautiful, dark as the desert tents of Kendar, and beautiful as the black as the draperies in Solomon's palace. Okay, so the one thing that she said is that she was black. And so that's in line with all the black Madonnas that came out of Aset, Heru, Osiris, was transferred into Christianity. And you see the greatest African queen of all time, Ahmose Nefertari. Ahmose Nefertari, the liberator that gave birth to the whole 18th dynasty, the greatest royal king dynasty of all times. So many great rulers that rule whole 2-3 continents at one time. And you talking about a goddamn goat herder on the other side of the red. The Africans ruled that all the way to India. Didn't you see me go into India with the Naga? So they ruled all the way into India, past India, into Cambodia and Philippines. That's where their influence was. So there was no Sheba or no Saba or none of that. You understand? It sounds good, but when you get into the other, the representations of the Arabs and the, this, that, and the third, it leaves a back door. And like I said, we don't need to create, because we got great African queens that we idolize and revere and venerate, and we don't have to make it up because we know that their rule was real. Okay, we don't have to make up. So you see right here, Ahmose Nefertari was black. This is the true representation. Okay, this is the true representation. This is Queen T, shown as black. Okay, and so this is showing you the Nubians on the wall, and these was considered the sons of Ramesses. And so he had Nubian sons because he had Nubian wives. And you can see today they still dark, still, got the red ochre, which is a red paint, clay type paint that they put on their face and in their hair. As you can see, the tradition lives on. So when we look at the ancient Ethiopia, when we look, which is Nubia, which is Sudanese, we see the true representation of Ethiopia. Burnt face. This is what the Greeks name. Burnt face. You understand what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Let me bring some of this down. I got to bring this down. I got to get a couple of these and bring it on down. I got to bring it on down. I'll just copy it. Because we got to get some understanding here. We got to get some understanding here. I'm going to just go and drop it in here. How, no, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with either if the knowledge of the root is understood. You see what I'm saying? But how in the hell did it go, from, Ethiopia mean burnt face to this? No, and with no symbolism. At least in the Egyptian, imagery, they show, Africans of all colors. It wasn't no one damn color. Because here you got Queen Ahmose Nefertari shown black. And then her king, which is Ahmose, the liberator, was shown many times brownish red. You see what I'm saying? So they had a variation in color. You see what I'm saying? And so this is no disrespect to my brothers and sisters, or you know what I'm saying? But the fact is, the dark-skinned Africans have been totally taken out of the iconery of the Ethiopian people. You never see it. What the fuck is happening? This is covert. You understand what I'm saying? This is covert. Let me keep it moving. Here again, you see Nubians. See, they cold black. You see the ancient Ethiopians, Sudanese, cold black. You see none of these representation on the walls of Ethiopia today. So if you see Nubia, that's Kush, that's Ethiopia. Now let me read this. This is out of the Bible Encyclopedia. The name of Kush was derived from Egypt. To the Egyptians, Kush denoted districts south of the first cataract, inhabited for the most part by races of Nubian origin. Okay, of Nubian origin. Cash, listen, Cash or Kush was the Ethiopia of the classical geographicals. And in the tablets of Tel El Armana, it is called Kasi. Okay, in the later Assyrian inscriptions, the name is written Kusi, and it is in this form of the name which we find in the Old Testament. Okay, so we understand right there, Cash or Kush was the Ethiopia of the classical geographicals. And if you go up one sentence, inhabited for the most part by races of a Nubian origin. See, this is one of them early damn, Christian encyclopedias. One of them ones they wish they wouldn't have wrote. You know what I'm saying? And I got a hold of that motherfucker because that's how I do what I do. So you see Cash, Kush, Nubian origin, Ethiopia. So these are the ancient Ethiopians right here. But today we got the light skin. This is the Ethiopian of the day. Something that happened. So it's a serious mix-up, a covert operation to exclude the true Ethiopians from their history and culture. They got to be dealt with, man. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't got to, just because you light skinned don't mean you got to be a white man or an Arab nigga. That don't mean that. You see what I'm saying? You can represent your blackness nonetheless. And they have totally devoided the blackness. And on top of that, they didn't put themselves by adopting the Semitic crazy ass religion, and at the same time, they don't even know the book because they done got caught on both sides of the damn fence, claiming to be Semitic and at the same time calling themselves Ethiopian, burnt-faced Hamitic. You got caught on both sides of the fence. Next time you claim some shit, you need to read that shit and understand it before you claim it so you don't look like an asshole. Okay? Let me keep it moving. Ethiopia, this coming out of that sign, and it's a nice, I got the publication paper in there and everything. You understand? It was a nice one. It was published around 1900 on the dot. It was like 1900, 1905. So it was a real early version. It says, you see right there, Ethiopia, Kush, country of burnt faces, lying to the south of Egypt, corresponding to what is now called the Sudan, the country of the blacks. That's damaging. That's damaging. They really ain't got shit to say. You know what I'm saying? If you really approach them motherfuckers with the fact, they ain't got nothing to say. I'll go down. It was known to the Hebrew. It was known to the Hebrews as Kush. The name Kush is found in the Egyptian Kish, evidently applied to the same territory. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. Okay, let me move on. And even when it says in the Bible, can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spot? Even more profoundly focusing on the fact that they dark skinned. That's just, that's just evident. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the land of Punt, okay, which is down in the Horn of Africa. You know what I'm saying? In today where Ethiopia is, and Somalia, Eritrea, where's the rest of that at? Where's the rest of them at? I think it's up here. Let me go up here and get that. Here you go. This gonna be heavy. This gonna be heavy. Cause this gonna prove a lot of what I was saying. Ain't no getting away from it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no damn getting away from it. Nah, when you speak of Punt, if you look at the top on the right, you see it's right there off of, and the Egyptians traded with and so this is another nation that, we talk about Nubia, we talk about Egypt, we even talk about Oxum, but we don't talk about Punt because Punt is an actual nation. A lot of people think of as some mystical land, but the Egyptians traded with the Puntites, okay? And it's documented. You could go to Hatshepsut funerary temple and you could see the Puntites on the walls of her funerary temple, okay? Now, let me go here. You can see Hatshepsut sailed down, but the earliest is around the 4th and the 5th dynasty of ancient Egypt, which is around 2500 BC. Now, what's critical, even according to the so-called by Solomon and Sheba, is around 950 BC. So the Egyptians and the Nubians were already trading with the Puntites in that same area thousands of years before even Solomon and Sheba came on the scene. This is what's crushing their ass. You see what I'm saying? Now look, now if you ever seen this, this is the queen and king of Punt, and they carved that out the temple where they saw that at, at El Badari or Hatshepsut's temple. And they say she had elephantiasis, because you know how the sisters be, you know what I'm saying? Some of them be very heavy. You see what I'm saying? And she was short and heavy, and you can see what somebody tried to carve the damn ass, carve her, her backside out, and that was some crazy ass European. But what's critical is if you look at the king, you can see the clear worship of Ptah stretched from the Mediterranean all the way to the Horn of Africa. Because you can see he got on the cap of Ptah and even got the beard. So that right there show you that, and that was at the time, if I'm not mistaken, of Hatshepsut. So right there, it show you that even in the land of Punt, just like Nubia, they practice along the same worship of the Egyptians. The same, they had some of their own particular deities, but certain deities crossed all boundaries. Amun-Ra, Osiris, Isis, and Horus crossed all boundaries. Ptah, which was a Nubian god anyway, crossed all boundaries. So you can see that this king of Punt had on the hairdress and the beard of Ptah, and they wore the same. You can see some of the same clothing. These are some of the Puntites. And you can see the Puntites even had ostrich feather. If you look in the back, that's an Ethiopian ostrich feather. And you see the ostrich feathers in the bowl. I mean, the ostrich eggs in the bowl. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Mayat, that's an Ethiopian ostrich feather. When you look at the two feathers in the hairdress of Amun, that's Ethiopian ostrich feathers. And when you look at the god Shu, he got Ethiopian ostrich feathers in his crown. You see what I'm saying? So they had the same animal spirits, the same zoo types, spiritual zoo type. That at this time there was no goddamn Sheba or none of that in the land. They were worshiping the indigenous Nile Valley worship and spirituality. And that right there is proof. That right there is proof. No wonder, the facts always gonna show up and reveal itself. You see what I'm saying? So we killing all that, even though we look to Sheba and we like to venerate, when you really break down, let me come on up out of that. You know what I'm saying? I do want to show this. This will be like the end of it. This will be like the end of it, to show how they did negatively represented black. So even when you go into the Byzantine art and you see the white Jesus and shit, and you see the devil is black. Black is burnt face. That's Etho. You see what I'm saying? That's what it means in Greek. It means burnt. You understand what I'm saying? So the actual burnt face Ethiopians have been demonized. The color of divinity has been turned into the color of demonization. You see what I'm saying? And here, this is also in Ethiopia. Look at this. Got white boys up there, you know, white Jesus, and that's Adam and Eve. And then you got the devil at the bottom. Look like the motherfucker look like goddamn buckwheat braids in his head. Look at that shit, man. The motherfucker look like he got buckwheat braids in his head. That show you right there how they demonize the other indigenous Africans. And I'm saying, goddamn, you know, we supposed to all, you know, we of all colors and love, you know, but black is the root. And so if you got black spiritual images, light skin, brown, and all variations, I'm with that. But how in the fuck did the light skin become the prototype of the Ethiopian people? When, you know, like I said, when Sudanese, and they so damn black, it's ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? And Ethiopia or the Greeks is Sudan, and it means exactly the same thing. How the hell you gonna take the burnt black people who the words were created to identify totally out of the iconery of the whole continent? Ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. And so here you see the true Ethiopians have been made an outcast, even in Islam, the jinn and the jinn iblis. And here again, Islam has demonized African culture from the very beginning. And then you go all the way back here and say they right step in step. But they raping ass Arab fathers. I must say that. That's how they got that damn blood. We come of all colors now, but we are clear because some of the features, you can see it. So, I mean, we are, and that don't mean nothing. If the mind is still African, if they still understood through conquest, there has been some mixture, that's understandable because some of that shit is nothing you could do. You understand what I'm saying? It was a conquest, and we understand shit happened in a conquest. But to pick that racist rape of our people and wear it as a badge of inferiority now, that's something we got to most definitely put the sledgehammer down on. You see what I'm saying? We most definitely got to expose them for that. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, we got this. And this is how we don't have no influence in Africa, because we got, you know, we got crazy mind. And let me tell you something. That does not mean that all family that's, you know, Habesha got to think the same way. But it's a high motherfucking percentage when you look at the iconery on the wall. You know what I'm saying? And when you Google this shit and you Google it, I didn't put that shit in there. So it just current of how, whether they say it's not, that's the way it's projected. Okay, that's the way that is projected, and we're gonna have to deal with that. Because again, Ethiopia means the burn, and that's the root. You can have a light skin, brown, but the light skin, brown skin can't produce the black skin. The black skin can produce all shade. So the black skin is the preeminent. It's the root. You understand what I'm saying? And when you keep, then you can always repel the naysayers. And that's what we doing here today, family. So I want to thank you for coming out to my family out there. You know, I love Ethiopia. That don't mean all Ethiopians think they Habesha. Okay? And so this is not no disrespect to all Ethiopians, because I love Ethiopia. It's not a disrespect to all Eritreans. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that they all think alike. But there is a vast number of them that do believe in that. You understand? And it's enough of them to affect the political and the social environment of that part of Africa. You understand what I'm saying? And so many Africans on the continent are being put under a racism by so-called, and like I said, I can't say so-called because many of them don't even think they're African. So I just got to say, so we damn near got to treat them like invaders. We damn near got to treat them like invaders. straight the fuck up. If you wear the badge of the rapist fathers who raped our mothers and you wear that as a badge of superiority, then you got to be dealt with no less than the rapist himself. You are an accomplice to some very hideous, brutal acts. And we got to charge your ass nonetheless as an accomplice. So family, I done did 2 hard videos. I was gonna do 3, but I think I'll hold off. I got some work to do, and I'm gonna hit, the Black Stone and the womb of the Black Madonna, which is still alluding to the Romanized creation of Islam. I had 2 hard videos tomorrow. Let me go on out here do this work, but the facts is real. They can run their mouth and this, that, and the third. If I had to dig into them, it ain't gonna be a pretty picture. What they need to do is get their mind right, but I know they're not gonna do that. But they got an opportunity and we love them nonetheless. We just want our family to straighten the fuck up and get their mind right. We don't want no unnecessary beefs between African people, but it's a time to clean and clear the house, and we must do that. We got to set the record straight. There's too much division in Africa, and a lot of that shit has came from the racist ideology of a slave master. Even in Rwanda, the Tutsis and the Hutu and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Caused by the Belgian with their wicked ass and shit. And they carried on that shit instead of letting it go. And so the unseen hand of the Belgian was still in the land, and it caused damn near 1 million of our beautiful people to be massacred in the Rwanda massacre that the West didn't even goddamn show until it was over with. No respect for, our beloved and the shit that they go through. So it's only to unite Africa by cleaning and detoxing all this unnecessary racist ideology that we didn't, attached ourselves to over the course of time. So family, I'm about to get up out of here. Thank you for showing up today. Take time to go over the lectures again. You already know. A lot of niggas out there say, hit notification. Motherfucker, if you ain't subscribed to General Cyrus Sunseti and your ass ain't hit notification and you don't like my shit, I don't know what kind of nigga you is. I don't know what kind of nigga, where you come from, nigga. That shit is almost self-explanatory. Y'all niggas know to hit that shit. So when you see General going live, goddamn it, you don't miss a thing, because we in the time where you need to hear a voice like the General. Because believe it, goddamn it, it ain't no voice, nigga. This is the one voice that you gonna get it this way. I guarantee you, ain't nobody gonna give it the way that the General gonna give it. And my hand is on the master teachers at all times. So when you see General Cyrus Sunseti, you see Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, you see Chancellor Williams, you see Khalid, you see all of that in general. And I always reach back for the master teacher. So that's just one, I'm just one element of the culture, nigga. I know you niggas got me on subscribe. If you don't, it's a sad, sad day for African people. All right, family, I'm gonna be black tomorrow. This is the General Cyrus Sunseti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black Pop.